All right, welcome back to this week's market preview. We'll quickly run through what happened last week before we dive into what to expect for the new week. So last week, when we looked at the markets, we are somewhere around here. So basically, upswing shorts, we had an inconclusive week. Right, basically, we had an inconclusive week. And then what we were expecting was that this candle, when we have an inconclusive week, wait for a fractal high, a fractal low to form, and then want price to run out. The first fractal that price runs out, we want to trade the opposite direction. So when price runs this out, we are now expecting that during because this happened on Monday and we don't trade on Mondays. So we're expecting that during the week, price starts on Tuesday going forward. From Tuesday, price will come run this out and then give us a reason to buy. However, when this happened, we usually use, for those of you who have been through the FXP course or who have watched the full swing shots video, we use our envelope filter to usually tell us when our bias has become invalidated. So while this push was happening to the downside on Tuesday, Monday had actually closed below the lower boundary of the envelope, right? Price has closed below the lower boundary of the envelope. And so we are not going to be looking for reasons to buy. So basically, we stayed off that particular buy of swing short. All right, now when we looked at the fractal OF, I made mention of the fact that this was the last fractal that was broken, right? This was the last fractal that was broken to the downside. So we still remained bearish, right? We still remain bearish. And so what we are basically looking for was for price to trade above this Monday's high and then give us a reason to sell, which price never did. So we're expecting price to push above Monday's high and price never did so. Now, when we look at our intraday buyouts, we are looking for opportunities to also sell the USD because both EU just get there. Let's go to H4. Right, so we are basically looking at the fact that daily was bullish, and we said we want to see price close above this guy. All right, so the fractal low on H4 was still bearish. Price broke this to the downside, and it hadn't broken above any fractal, hadn't closed above any other fractal highs. Right, this fractal high ran through it, but it didn't close above it. It came close to closing above it here, but it didn't. So we're still waiting for a close above the fractal high on H4 so that both our H4 fractal and the daily fractal order flow will agree. But that didn't happen on Tuesday, and that happened, or that didn't happen on Monday. It happened on Tuesday, at which time it had taken out previous day's high. And once previous day's high is taken out, we no longer look for buying opportunities, right? Because basically that is one of our primary targets, and once that has been taken, there's no point continuing to look for buys in the same direction. All right, and basically all through the week, we really didn't get any setup that fits into our models. So none of the so much volatility, but none of it really fits into our model, and that's fine. It will happen sometimes, especially months like August when some market participants are basically on break. Right. So what we expect for this week? So nothing has changed with regards to the fractal OF. We are still bearish. All right, price has also gone down to break this sort of fractal low, which is what we want to see when we are bearish. We want to see fractal lows being broken. We want to see structure being broken to the downside. All right, so what do we expect? This is Monday. We'll expect price for a weekly trade. We'll be expecting price to trade above Monday's high. Now, if we go to our baskets, you'll see that we don't have a fractal high yet. So we want price to push up above this Monday's high, give us a fractal high, and then price will then come to take out that fractal high, right? So to give us something like this, the price takes it out, and then we begin to look for a reason to sell. How likely is that to happen this week? I'm not really sure, given the fact that Monday has already expanded to the downside. Now, again for today, we already see a situation where price has taken out previous day's low. Also see that on the USD futures. Price has taken out previous day's low, meaning that today we have no business trying to even sell the USD. So when it comes to our USD for this week, swing short is bearish, factor OF is bearish, our volume trend is equally bearish. So everything is telling us to basically sell the USD. But the fact that everything is telling us to sell the USD doesn't mean we'll just jump into the chart and then begin to sell anyhow. All right, it needs to still meet, it still needs to fall into one of our 40 models that we look at in the FXP course. So for the weekly fractal OF, I've described that, but the weekly fractal OF, the swing short, we'll be waiting for a fractal high to form above this level. All right, then price now taking the fractal high, then we'll be looking for opportunities to sell to the downside. However, when we look at our intraday models, the fractal trend on EU is bullish. 4 hours is equally bullish. All right, it starts remain bullish ever since it closed above this. All right, so what we'll be expecting is today has already taken our previous day's high, so we'll be looking for opportunities to buy today. However, tomorrow is as long as it meets our conditions, tomorrow will be fair game. We'll be expecting price. I'm actually expecting price to continue to drop, consolidate throughout today, because basically today being Tuesday, there is no red folder news that is really on the calendar. So we'll be expecting price to basically consolidate all through, and then on Wednesday I'll expect a push down. All right, a push down on EU, which will be push up on the USD, and then I'll be looking for opportunities to buy EU and GU. All right, so that is basically the play for the week. It is simple. We basically want to sell the USD, but we want to do that within models, either the weekly trade models, models. We want to see one of them. We want to see price playing into one of them. All right, so that is basically that for the week. If we look to the calendar, I've already mentioned the fact that on Tuesday we do not really have any markets moving event coming up, or any markets moving news release coming up. So, but let me run through the whole week. The market basically is going to be coming to life around Thursday. So for today, we have CPI coming up from the Eurozone. But one thing I've come to learn from the Eurozone CPI is that by the time the inflation figures are in from Germany, France, Italy, and the rest, the Eurozone CPI really moves markets, because we already know what inflation outlook should look like. So it's a red folder, but I don't really see it doing anything to the market. Now, if you trade card, you want to be aware that their CPI inflation data is also coming out today. But since that is not really my cup of tea, it's not really much of my concern. On Wednesday as well, the only thing of note there is the FOMC minutes. FOMC minutes will be coming out Wednesday evening, or Wednesday Wednesday night UTC +3 because that's the time we operate with. So FOMC minutes will be coming out in the night. You want to watch out for that. Then on Thursday, the market basically comes to life with a whole lot of PMIs coming in from the Eurozone, coming in from UK as well. So we're going to be having that alongside there will also be PMIs from the US economy. Are going to also continue to have that jobless claims, which market participants will continue to keep an eye out for. So I mentioned last week that market participants were going to be really keeping an eye on these claims. We could see the move that happened after that particular release. So people will continue to keep an eye on what is going on with the jobless claims. And there's also existing home sales on that same Thursday, existing home sales from the US. And then on Friday, the Jackson Hole Symposium kicks off. Jackson Hole event kicks off, where different central bank chairman leaders will be talking. So that is usually a market moving event because you basically don't know what they're going to see. That would signal the market to act in certain ways and what have you. And also we have home sales also going on, new home sales data coming out from the USD. Basically, I expect that we're likely to have a little bit of consolidation Tuesday, Wednesday, and then the market's now really expanding on Thursday. Or I don't know what's going to really happen. So, but that is looking at what sees. Because yesterday there still wasn't much of a news, and yet the markets moved, so you never can really predict the market. But that is something to expect looking at the data releases that we have for the week. All right, so enjoy the rest of your week. If you're still interested in the FXP course, there's still a couple of spots available. You can reach out Telegram, just reach out to Trade Experts 24, or you reach out to me personally at Showik on Telegram. You could also go to Trade Experts website, www.tradeexperts.com.ng, and you'll be able to sign up for the course as you want. So I've mentioned to a couple of people from next year, I'll begin to focus more on stocks, all right, because let's just leave that for now. So that is it. This year is going to be one of the last years I'm going to be doing so much focus on FX trading like this when it comes to the channel and all what have you. So take advantage of that opportunity now. So enjoy the rest of your trading week. God bless.